If you listen closely to any great symphony, you'll find that the composer always begins with a very simple melody. And it's a theme that just keeps reoccurring throughout all of the piece. The composer will add texture and depth, adding different instrumentation from one movement to the next. He may add changing the tempo or the meter, adding in. But if you listen close enough, you will always hear that simple theme just keep coming back again and again and again throughout the symphony. God also wrote a great symphony called Salvation History, and he also had a very simple theme: love. It's the only theme God could have, really, in his symphony, right? So from the very beginning of time, that theme was always behind God's composition of this great gift of salvation history that he gave us. Everything else is a variation on that theme. So today I thought we'd try a little bit of homiletic symphony. So I'm going to be the conductor, all right? So every time I go like this half of the church is going to say, love God. And whenever I go like this half of the church is going to say, love your neighbor. All right? You ready? Love God. Love your neighbor. From the beginning of time, that was God's plan. That's how God created the world, so that the world would be happy, a delightful place to be, and always at peace. But well, we learned right away that kind of fell apart pretty quickly, didn't it? But God didn't give up. Time and time again, God set the stage for a new movement of this symphony of salvation, but the theme of love never changed. Eventually, it was the Israelites. He called them, led by Moses, out into the desert to become the people of God that would proclaim his love into this world, bring that message. But it became clear, too, that they, too, might need a little bit of help. So early in their days, God gave them a very simple direction. And to assure that they wouldn't get too far away from that, let's give them just 10 commandments, 8 more, just for the purpose of keeping them united with one another and united with God, so that we would always be filled with joy as God intended. But his theme never changed. It would never be forgotten. Over the time, the Big Ten, though, kind of got challenged and amended, detailed out, and added a little more. They became more complex and often difficult to understand, and pretty soon there were more laws about cleaning pots and pans and bed sheets and bodies, and about the right way to offer sacrifices and offerings, and it just got so complicated. So God knew it was time to send his son into the world, because Jesus would have a wonderful way of just bringing back the simplicity of it all, teaching about forgiveness and healing and mercy and compassion. And even when they backed him into a corner and said, yes, but what's the most important law? He just came back with, and for the last 2,000 years, our world has changed so much. Civilizations have come and gone. Our own country engaged in war after war. We've written countless laws and made many treaties and enacted all kinds of policies and broken most of them. We've continued to stumble our way through racial issues and immigration issues and global warming and affirmative action and poverty and economic ups and downs and healthcare and right to life and end-of-life issues. We've tried everything, and sometimes successfully, oftentimes failing miserably. But not to be left out, even the church got into the whole game. We got into it with our own set of rules and our own set of codes and laws and policies and requirements and punishments. But in the end, when all the volumes of rules and regulations, laws and policies, treaties and court rulings, executive orders have all been dismantled, one thing doesn't change. When all the encyclicals have been studied and all the laws have been adjudicated, one law remains. One law overrides all the others. One priority stands above all the others, something that is so simple, so pure, that it has withstood every test of time and culture and all people in every age. And you know what that is. And Jesus said, "You are not far from the kingdom of God."